quarterback club yesterday, and he talked about you having 3 different coordinators in 3 years, and how sometimes the terminology could be challenging. Do you feel like you and Coach Taney are on the same page with all that right now?
Yeah, every single week there's a different game plan. There's new words, new terminology going in. So it's a whole different season every week for me, and I have to get accustomed to what he's thinking and how he's also calling plays. So, I mean, it's going to take some time, but I think that last week was a good start to that.
How do you feel like that game will help you going toward Florida?
A lot. I mean, we were having different meetings last week. We kind of had a different setup, and going through the meetings and going through different things with him, it actually helped me last week. So.
Jared, do you think the young guys on this team understand just how much things are about to kind of get thick and fast here with playing SEC games? I know you go one at a time, but
yeah,
everybody's good. Do you think the guys the young guys on this team know that yet?
No, not yet. I mean, like going back to when I was young, I mean, people used to tell me how crazy it would get, and I would just be like, okay, yeah, I understand it's going to get crazy, but you don't really understand until you get thrown into the fire, really what it's all about. And I'm excited for them, and I think we're going to have a tough week of practice going into this, and we're going to really try to get accustomed to it, whether it's crowd noise and all those type of things throughout the week for it.
What's really caught your eye on Florida's defense on film, the early watch thus far?
Oh, they have great players everywhere. I mean, Henderson's a great player, Zuniga's a great player, and Reese is a great player. They have great players everywhere. Their coach, Grantham's a really good defensive coordinator, and just as a whole team, they're really physical, fast, and they know how to play the game.
Specifically their pass rush, what makes them so difficult in that regard, leading the nation in sacks?
They have a bunch of guys up front. I mean, Schuler, Grenard, Jabari, they're all great players, and I really think that they get after the quarterback well. And going back to that Miami game, they had a lot of sacks, and I know going into this one, I'm going to have to get the ball out quick and make decisive answers for it.
Jared, you reached out at all to Felipe after his injury to that?
Yeah, I sent him a couple of text messages. We were back and forth, and I told him that I was praying for him, and going back to all the rest of the quarterbacks with Terry and Jake Bentley, and it's really a sad thing to see, but I know they're going to bounce back, and I'm praying for them.
A couple weeks ago, David Reese was asked, have you ever felt sorry for a quarterback? And he said the only time was last year. He said you looked like you had had enough. How would you compare your confidence now compared to what it was after last year's game?
Still the same.
You talked about some of the quarterbacks and, with Felipe and Jake and all these guys. Is there something with the relationships between y'all that maybe only y'all can understand about each other and the kind of the pressure and the life and all that?
Yeah, I think just the QB fraternity, just going back to Elite 11, going to the Manning Passing Academy, all those things that we do with each other throughout the years, we kind of really get to know each other and get to know the different lifestyles and people that we actually come from. So it's definitely different for quarterbacks, and I have a personal relationship with all of them, and I'm always wishing for the best for them, and I hope that they have very speedy recoveries.
Does Florida secondary do a lot of complex things?
Yeah, I mean they're always disguised and they're doing certain things, but really they do line up and they just say that they're better than everybody that they face, and they do a good job of that. I mean, Henderson and Marco are really good cornerbacks, and I think we're up for the challenge this week, but we know that they're gonna bring it.
When you're facing a similar scheme, similar players from a year ago, same coordinator, do you go back, whether it's Florida or even any game kind of on the schedule, do you go back and watch last year's film to see kind of what happened and what went right or wrong, or do you kind of just flush it and only look forward?
No, I mean, I understand that this year's a new year and we're a different team, and all the teams that we're going to verse are different teams, but you always go back and check kind of what their defensive coordinator's calling, and you go see what their tendencies are going back to last year, and you kind of just wipe the slate clean, and then you go into their film this year and say, okay, they're a different team, they're doing different things.
Jared, playing the first 3 games at home, now going on the road, and not just on the road, but starting SEC play in the Swamp, where's the excitement at this week?
Oh, very high. I know that we're going to have a great week of practice in order to prepare for it, and the Swamp's not an easy place to play, and we know that, and we're going to have to do a lot of communicating during practice, and we're going to have to be very vocal with all our different things, whether it's hand signals or it's just me calling out different things that I see.
You're talking about going on the road. You had 2 freshmen offensive linemen starting last week, came on, started his first game. Just kind of what are you focused on with those guys when you're doing this kind of environment?
A lot of meeting time, but it's really the same thing every week. Going into this week, it's going to be a little different just because it's going to be so loud. So communication is going to be at a vocal point for us, and it's really going to be big for them just to get into that arena. And as soon as the first play is done, I think that they're going to start getting accustomed to what they're facing.
How would you describe the first time you go on the road in the ACC?
It's crazy. It's hectic. Fans are nuts. You start hearing things that you never heard before. It's really a great environment. It's really the best in college football, and I'm really truly blessed in order to get the opportunity to do this again, and I'm excited for this opportunity.
What's it been like for you working behind so many different combinations in the offensive line through these first 3 games rather than
I knew it was going to be like this going into the season, and it's really not my call. I trust in and believe in Coach Chaney and Coach Friend, and I think that they're always going to put out the best 5.
Jared, in terms of kind of treating each game as its own game, and that's important. But kind of as a team collectively, how do y'all make sure if there are a couple mistakes here and there that things don't snowball? Like last year, with those 6 turnovers in one game, that's almost unheard of. How do you, as a team, how do y'all make sure that y'all can stop those leaks?
It all starts in practice. Going into practice, we already know that the focal point's also going to be on creating turnovers and not giving the ball over. In last year's game, obviously we turned the ball over a lot, and going into practice this week, we know that we're going to have to really work that a lot, and that's really how we lost last year with the turnovers, and that's really going to be a point for us this week.
Is it tough to maybe maintain aggressiveness while also, because you go into a game and you say you got to protect the ball, can't be loose with the ball, but then sometimes that means you can't make as many plays. I mean, where's that fine line?
No, I think if you truly know what you're doing out there and you have the point of just holding the ball tight or knowing where your protection's going, I think that it's a lot easier said than done.
Jerry, you were talking earlier about having kind of a different setup for meetings last week. What was different, and how did that help you?
We really tried to dig deep into each other's minds, myself and Coach Chaney, and I think that we did a good job with it, very effective. And every single play we had a thought process through it, and we went through it, and I think that it helped me a lot, and I think it also helped him get into my mind.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it, man.